Welcome back to a new vlog. It's a gloomy, rainy Tuesday, which I will never complain about. It's perfect. Feels like fall. It is officially fall. Thank goodness. I'm so ready and excited. It's still been a little warm here for the end of September, but I feel on the horizon the cool weather coming. It's been cooler in the mornings, cooling off quicker at night, so we're almost there. Almost. But I figure this week we can do something a little bit different. I'm just going to record a day in my life. So all day today, I'm going to take you along with what I'm doing, and it's kind of a random busy day. I've got a lot of just off the wall things going on, and so I wrote my list so I don't forget anything. But right now I have to run down the road to a little store we have and cross my fingers that they have printer paper, because I have a return I have to make and they didn't provide a shipping label, so I have to print it at home, and I went to go print it yesterday and we are fresh out of printer paper, and I have to send that out today. So I'm hoping I can find printer paper at the store, and then I need to go get gas, and then I have a dress alteration appointment for my baby shower dress. It's just a little bit too long, and so I need to get that shortened a little bit. And then after that, we're gonna go grocery shopping for 3 shoots that I have this week, and I have some personal groceries to get to, which usually I despise getting work and personal groceries in the same trip, which maybe sounds silly, but doing the 2 separate transactions is just annoying to me. I'd almost rather just go back on different days and get groceries for each separate category, but there's just a few things that we really need at home. So I'm gonna get all the groceries today and drop off that return. And then later tonight I have a book club, which is always really fun. We read The Lost Bookshop, and I feel like it was the perfect transition book from summer to fall. It was cozy, it was a tad bit spooky, but not in like your classic Halloween spooky spook. It was just, there were some eerie parts to it, but it was very tolerable and I really enjoyed it. But it's just one of those books that was just really cozy. This lighting is not good, is it? No, go lay down. Go lay down. I just got back home from running errands. It's a little past 1:30, and we got everything done that we needed to get done while we were out and about. Returned the wallpaper, got groceries, got everything I needed for my shoot groceries except diced pancetta. They were out of stock at the store, and so when I go back out for book club tonight, I might leave a little early and go check a different store to see if they have pancetta. It's always so frustrating when you can get almost all of your work groceries, but you're missing 1 or 2 things. It's like you're so close, but not close enough. So hopefully I can find that when I go back out. But I'm just sitting down for some lunch right now, and I just have some roasted Brussels sprouts and sweet potato with a scrambled egg and some ketchup. That's what sounded good. That's what we're eating. You could never go wrong with some roasted vegetables. It's time. We're ready to start prepping the cinnamon rolls. I forgot if I already said this, but these are for a friend's birthday for tomorrow, and Reed actually works with her, so I will just send off the cinnamon rolls with him in the morning and he can deliver them. But we are ready to start prepping. And first things first, when you're making anything for other people, I always need a fresh lint roller. And I have to lint roll my whole body because we don't want any loose hairs getting in our food. That is truly my worst nightmare. When I'm cooking for myself or baking for myself, you know, I don't really do this. I mean, I'll go over myself quickly, but not like I do when I'm making things for other people. So step 1, lint roll. Step 2, wipe down your counters, of course. Step 3, wash your dirty, grimy little fingers. I will do that next. And step 4, get out all of your ingredients ahead of time so they're all ready to go. And then specifically for cinnamon rolls, step 5 is calibrate your thermometer. And I use a thermometer when I'm heating up my milk to activate the yeast, because if your milk is too hot, it will kill the yeast and then your dough won't rise as well, and it's really sad when you've been letting your dough proof or rest and you check on it like an hour later and it hasn't doubled in size. That has happened before to me and it is really, really sad. So I am just prepping my thermometer and making sure that it's going to be as accurate as possible. So I use Ambitious Kitchen's best ever cinnamon roll recipe, and it truly is the best ever. I've tried a few different cinnamon roll recipes like years ago when I first started making cinnamon rolls, until I stumbled on hers and decided that I just wasn't gonna test any other ones out because hers is truly the best. So that's what we're using today. And actually, she just came out with her cookbook and that recipe is in her cookbook. So it's fun to have like a hard copy out instead of looking at it at my computer. So yay, let's go. Let's start making some cinnas. I forgot a very crucial step, and that is you must have a fun drink while you bake, because you deserve a fun drink. And I'm drinking hot chocolate with whipped cream because I'm a child. And it's such a cozy, gloomy day. It's rainy. This day just calls for some hot chocolate. If you've never tried making cinnamon rolls before, you should really try, because they're really not as intimidating as they probably seem. And I feel like the worst part is just waiting for them to rise. They have to rise 2 different times. One when the dough is just all together, and then a second time when you are assembling the cinnamon rolls. And I feel like that's the worst part, honestly. And besides just making sure that you have a thermometer and it's calibrated and you have your milk at the correct temperature, I promise it's not like that big of a deal. And they're so good, they're so fun to make. Nothing is better than making something homemade like this and then just enjoying the taste and knowing that you're the one that made it from scratch and you know what went into it. It's just, there's nothing better. So I make these every year for Christmas. This is like a tradition, as I'm sure a lot of people have cinnamon rolls or something else that they make as a tradition around the holidays, but this is mine. I have to make cinnamon rolls every year, and it just never gets old. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So I'm surprised I don't have this recipe memorized, actually. It's kind of surprising. Okay, our dough should be all ready to rest. It's not too sticky. That is a good consistency. So I'm going to transfer this over to a grease bowl, and then I'm going to stick it in the microwave to let it rise. Okay, we'll see this in about an hour 15 minutes, and hopefully she has doubled in size and is nice and fluffy. Another good tip that I believe is also from Ambitious Kitchen is, especially when the weather is starting to get cooler and it's not as humid out, in order for dough to rise, you need it to be just like a little bit humid and warmer, at least to rise quicker. So she recommends putting a cup of water in the microwave and just heating it up, and then your microwave is nice and, did that come out weird? Microwave is nice and warm. And so then you just pop your dough in the microwave and just make sure it's covered. I covered it with plastic wrap and a towel, and she's just gonna rest in there for a little bit until she's doubled in size. And it really does work super well. So that's pretty much what I do every time that I make dough that needs to rise. So for cinnamon rolls, bread, anything like that, stick it in the microwave. Moment of truth to see if our dough has doubled in size. Yay! Nice and puffy. Perfect. We can roll this out and start assembling our cinnamon rolls. And I forgot to get my baking dish ready, so I need to do that really quickly as well. The best part is punching the dough. Letting the air bubble out. Favorite part is rolling them up and cutting them, and I like to use a serrated knife. I feel like that works the best for me. I've seen a lot of people use floss as well, so you could just experiment and see what works best for you. But I think I'm going to start down here actually in a row. I like to wipe off the excess flour as I roll. Yum! Just make sure it's all tight and together. Okay, and I've got my greased pan right behind me, so I can just start cutting. Beautiful. Look how pretty. The lighting is terrible, but the rolls are beautiful. So now I'm actually going to cover these and put them in the fridge because I have to get ready to go to book club. And so when I get home, I'll take them out of the fridge and let them have their second rise, and then we'll bake them and top them with the yummy cream cheese frosting, and then they'll be done. Look at that swirl. That's a good one. I forgot that for book club, I am in charge of bringing dessert, and so I made these pumpkin spice donuts that I was gonna coat in a cinnamon sugar, but most of them stuck to the donut pan, so they look a little disheveled. And so with the rest of the batter, I just made plain, good old pumpkin muffins. But I am gonna try to salvage some of the donuts and make them into a cinnamon sugar pumpkin spice donut. So I'm gonna do that really quick, change, and then head to book club. Honestly, their imperfectness gives them a little more character. As long as they taste good, that's all that matters. The dress code is cozy, neutral sweater. And I would consider dark green a neutral, right? Close enough. Let's go to book club. Cozy edition.